All right, welcome to Splattered Podcast. This is the debut episode. We've got Bob Hacker from the mighty Mettal Maffia with us. A funny story. I don't think I've ever told you this, Bob, but I guess we met a couple years ago when you came to our area with Primer 55, and I think you guys might have got on that tour later or something. Or anyway, we had the show booked, and then Bobby got a hold of us like a week before the show. He's like, "I got these guys. They're going to come. I need y'all to put a spot for them. They're going to open." And believe it or not, me and Aaron, the guys doing Homegrown Mayhem down here, was like, "Man, we cannot fit this band in here." And we did not like you guys till you showed up. The irony. And then when you guys showed up and you played, I mean, you totally became a local band here. I mean, I've not seen anything like it, the way that people here took to you guys. And it's one of those, and I remember talking to Bobby after the show. I was like, "Man, what was that?" And he's like, "That just shows that you just don't judge anything till you see it." And that's exactly what happened. And that was a hell of a show. And as I said, that kind of, you guys got a following here just as much as any of us local bands do here in the Radcliffe and Elizabethtown area, Fort Knox area. So on the phone, I do got Bob Hacker, who's the vocalist, I guess you would say. He's the co-vocalist. And Mettal Maffia right now, tell us a little bit about what's going on. I know y'all got a lot of exciting things going on with you right now.
Yeah, we just signed to Ferocious Records, the parent company CDS. They did a lot of blues and jazz. And they wanted to get us into the studio and get the process rolling. So we shot straight in, and we started March 16th, and we just started shooting vocals last night. And we're looking for a June 8th release. We're really pumped. There's a lot of different stuff on this album, a lot of different influences we've never put out there before. So not only are we nervous, but we're pumped to put our twist on everything and let everybody know that we love what we do and we can make anything ours.
Well, as far as what you're actually going to have, this is going to be a full-length CD, correct?
Yeah, 10 to 12 tracks. We're still trying to get the last two going, but definitely 10 tracks. We're going to be throwing Sail, our rendition of AWOL Nation, on there.
Oh, that's awesome. I've heard that, too. That sounds pretty awesome.
We're doing a Pour It Up remix with a couple guest spots.
Cool.
We got a couple that we can't announce yet because it's not confirmed, but it looks pretty good that we're going to have some pretty big names on this album coming over from a couple different camps, and it's pretty crazy what's going on in our world right now.
Well, what kind of catalog does Mettal Maffia have as far as originals? I mean, how are you going to narrow it down to what you want to put on here? Are you still writing now, or is this all stuff that you've already had?
We went in with about 5 tracks that were 100% done, and we had a few that were 50%, and then we had a couple what we call turds, and we're working with a great producer now. His name's Donnie D, and it's out of Studio D Productions in Cleveland, Ohio, and it's been the best experience in the world. They have full kitchen, full lounge, full pretty much apartment for us. We're living in there, and he's taken us to the next level, and these turds that we bring into him, he just polishes them into gems, and the gems we have, he makes them into diamonds. It's a great new experience for us to be under a label and have a producer give us that outside ear that we never had.
I was going to say, have you ever worked with a producer before? What's that like to have somebody who's not a member of the band come in and critique you to, you know?
At first, we were scared of it, but we had a long talk about it, and we kind of feel we've reached a peak on what we can do within, not necessarily just, our genre is a large genre because of all the influences, but
yeah,
we just felt we reached our peak at our structure, our dynamics, and just how the song is basically put together. And I'll tell you the truth, it's a blessing that we picked this guy because it's insane what he is doing right now. I mean, I've never been more proud to be in the studio. I've never enjoyed it more, and the anticipation of the release is killing me.
What? All right. As far as how you guys actually come up with something and do your writing, I mean, run us through? Just, I don't know if it's if you have a certain way that you do it each time or what. Or, I mean, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, that's what I was saying. I don't know if you do a certain way. If one of you does certain songs, or how you all come about it. I mean.
The first couple albums, it was pretty, we stuck to the script. The script was we came up with a beat or a back synth sound or something like that. Rarely did it come from lyrics or a guitar riff. A few here and there. This album, though, what we did was pretty much everybody was let loose. And, like Ronnie, our lead player, he has more of a blues jazz feel to him. And he not only did he bring that, but he brought a little bit of country to it, and that's definitely that's gonna appeal to you guys down south. We definitely got some stuff to play for you. I can't wait for you to hear it. It's ridiculous.
Well, what about you, man? I mean, as far as you, when you approach a song and enter a song, I mean, do you just keep writing things all day long, or how do you come up with what you're going to throw down?
Yeah, I hardly ever do I write a whole thing at once. I get ideas and I jot them down, or I put them on my voice recorder, and I just save them for when it comes time to write. Because with our schedule and what we're trying to accomplish, the writing process isn't a year-long thing. We have to actually dedicate that time away from touring and just staying active and doing the stuff we want to do, which is so much right now. So, I have a few ideas, and I really like to just feed off of them after I hear most of the songs. I don't like feeding off of one riff. I like to hear a lot of the final product beforehand.
Yeah, well, you mentioned about touring. What I know was Primer like the first national tour you all did, and then I know you've moved on to Head PE, and that's what I was going to ask about what is different now after you all have been out and seen different states and how they react to certain songs, or just the way the touring life is,
On all the good notes, it's amazing. We've got to see things that we've fought very hard for and sacrificed a lot for. It's a great time to be out there doing it, and we've seen a huge difference in everything. I mean, the way that the web page is acting, the way that the reverb's acting, just the buzz and the feedback we get on a post, and people telling us that songs have helped them through times. We have wrestlers that are using our music as intros now. I mean,
that's awesome.
We've since got signed. We have funding, which is so important when you're trying to do what we do. It's been the difference in our career by all means. The good thing, if you want to turn a negative into a positive, the good thing we learned about going on tour is it's not what it seems. It is very, very difficult, and we were just all extremely naive, which, you expect anybody in that first two times to be. There's just things going on that you didn't realize.
Yeah,
there has to be a conscious effort.
What about, like, as far as actually seeing maybe reactions in different areas of the country or different states, like even to individual songs or just crowds, is there a big difference when you go from state to state? Yeah,
we definitely, we figured out our hot spots and our markets, just where, it feels like home. And by all means, Kentucky, Louisville, Radcliffe, that whole area, it was definitely, from the moment that we stepped in the door, a home. You guys have reacted so well, and you treat us so well, and trust me, you're definitely on the top city to hit when we go out.
Hey, yeah, like I said, I can't stress enough how you guys have become a local act here. Not local as far as, you know what I'm saying. It's just that everybody accepts you guys here as a local act, and you guys are probably one of the biggest local acts we have, to be honest. And it's
that's amazing. And dude, it does feel like we're almost in our hometown city playing every time we're there, and that's a great feeling to have.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome.
And it's thanks to you and Aaron and Hello Wicked and Primer 55 for making that all happen. A lot of things had to happen for us to have success, and you guys are a huge part of it.
Well, take it back, actually, like just you yourself, not Mettal Maffia, because I'd like to do a little personal stuff on some of these interviews too. But taking it back, what was your step to get into becoming a musician, to get into maybe what you guys do now? I mean, take us a little bit as far as how you started getting into music.
Well, as far as me, and then I'll get into everybody else. My dad was roadieing for bar band when I was 8 to 9 years old, and sorry, we're at a gas station. Yeah. And around 14, he started working me, and because I was interested, I wanted to be there. I was going to my cousin's band practices, and somebody noticed him roadieing one night when I was there, and I'm way underage in the bar, doing hard labor, actually roadieing, running lights, and just living the life. Asked him if he wanted to be a stagehand and for a local union, and he was like, yeah, I'll do some work. And he did that for a while, and then he ended up working for a production company. He became business agent of the union after that, and then after that, WWE hit him to tour with WWE Wrestling. And it's mostly because of my dad that I am in this business. It is crazy how much support he has given to this band and me in generally.
That is awesome. That's a heck of a story. So he currently still works with WWE, correct?
Yeah. And then I ended up working for the union and the production company, and I was always in a band the whole time through, so that's where I got most of my connections and learned, the part of the business that a lot of musicians aren't lucky enough to see.
Yeah, that's got to be, that's got to be amazing. I mean, because you got to see some of the behind the scenes before you step behind the scene as an artist. I mean, that puts you a little bit ahead than a lot of people starting the game. I mean.
Yeah, that's part of it's I'm not a bad guy, but I have very strict policies on myself on what it takes to succeed, and I'm very hard on myself and those around me just because of what I've seen and what I've been told by people I respect. And I truly believe in this band, and everybody has the right mentality, and we're just on a great path right now.
Well, another thing with just the band itself, I mean, it's an eclectic combination of things. I mean, how hard is it for you all to put all your different influences in together to create a song? I mean, is there a lot of button head and things like that, or?
Yeah, there's definite button of heads. It's first off, the other vocalist, my brother, we're gonna butt heads, and then the guitar player is my cousin, and we definitely butt heads. And then, I've known Sosa since my old band Ginger Spitz. He was gonna join up with them, and then that started going down the drain, and we pulled him on a board for Mafia. Luke, I met him through our bass player Scrap. He's just a great dude. Shane, Scales just joined the band a little while ago. He went to high school with me and my brother. So I mean, pretty much, we're a big family, and even families fight. But at the end of the day, we're all happy with the final product and extremely excited.
Well, I mean, it's one thing. I mean, all bands, of course, are going to butt heads. I mean, there's how many bands with 4 members can't last, or 3 members.
Yeah,
that's one thing.
I hear you. I definitely hear that, man. We're riding 8 strong right now.
That's what I'm saying. And when you're doing that, I mean, you guys are definitely bringing different influences in, right? I mean, what's kind of the influences that the other guys bring? You mentioned some blues and stuff like that. I mean, what kind of elements?
I can guarantee you on this album, you're going to get blues, jazz, rock and roll, metal, screamo, country, a little bit of punk, hip-hop, and pop. Like, that's all on this album. We got a new vocalist. Her name's Nika Nostalgia. She is incredible. I mean, we are really going to come out with a bang on this album. It's the influences are endless. It doesn't sound like the same band from song to song until you apply the vocals, and then you're like, yeah, that's Mettal Maffia. It's ridiculous what we have done and how we have evolved.
Oh, that's awesome. I heard you mention something about a band called Ginger Spitz or something. How many other bands have you been in your time?
Let's see. I was in Plastic Rap at the age 14. I was in the band Acid Porno at the age of 16, and then I formed One Breath, and then formed Ginger Spitz, and now I'm in Mettal Maffia. So about 5, serious bands. I've had jam sessions and things that started but never played out, so I don't really count that as a project.
Well, now you do like you do the MCing and the screaming. I mean, have you always been into that style with your vocals, or is that something that you've grown into over time? No, I've always hopped back and forth. This is the first band where I've kind of combined all my talents together and had a framework in which it could be applied. I was either in an all metal band or all hip hop, and it
it didn't work until now.
Okay, so you've been in like all hip hop bands and stuff like that.
Yeah, by all means, yes.
Well, now what about your brother? Has he kind of followed the same path as you the whole way, or
Yeah, as far as on the production back end, he's always been in the business. He just recently started jumping on stage for Mettal Maffia, but he's always been there supporting me, and he's always been a stagehand, and same path as me and my dad.
Yeah. That's awesome, man. I'm really looking forward. What more can you tell us about the album? I mean, have you got the title yet?
We got a couple that we're looking at. Originally, when we started this album, it was just going to be an EP, and then, the record deal went down. They wanted a full length. So originally it was going to be called Faceless, and that is one of the tracks on the album. We've played it out a couple times, but we definitely have a couple other good names that I can't really let out yet, but they're good.
One thing about like the music itself, I know like the CD is the full-length album. I mean, it may not even be here 5 years from now. Is that like a goal you all had? You wanted to do at least to put out a full? I mean, as far as a physical copy, I don't know that will even be around 5 years from now, because the way music's changing.
I don't know. I just ran into a band that they're selling their albums on download cards now, and it's literally like a little credit card, and
wow,
that's how music's being sold now.
Yeah, no, that's. I encourage any band right now why it's still a viable asset to try to get that CD out, because it may not be out no more, and it's part of just the changing of times. But it's always cool to have that physical CD in your hand. I mean, that's.
Do you own any DATs from any old projects? You remember that?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's wow, it's crazy. I mean, even like going to the downloads now. I mean, we went from 8 tracks to records to tapes to CDs. This is the first step into something like that, where people's not going to have that physical. I mean, it's almost not the same when you're looking online and you have to look at an album cover online, the way I feel about it. But maybe it's just the old school in me. But it's I definitely, it's awesome that you guys are going to get to put out that physical CD. And I mean, do you got touring?
I definitely agree.
Do you got are you all even thinking about the touring plans yet for after that, or is that on hold for a minute, or?
Yeah, no, we're looking at a July tour. I think I'm okay to let some of this out. We're looking to tour with a band called Straight Jacket in July.
Okay.
They're out of Minnesota. Great bunch of dudes. It's the original drummer from Blue Felix's band now.
Okay.
Blue Felix is a great band. They were managed by Sid Wilson for Slipknot.
Yeah.
And we're calling it the Full Metal Jacket Tour.
That's awesome, man. What?
Yeah.
is that going to take you to a lot of the country, or do you even know that yet?
No, we're sticking basically Midwest, a little bit of East Coast, and it's on my end of things to make sure that I hit Kentucky and Tennessee, so we will be making a stop in July.
Do you guys decide on who does what, who does the Facebook posts, and who does this promotion? Because I mean, that's the way it is now. You gotta almost stay on the social networks to keep relevant. It seems like these days. Is there any method to the way you all do it? I know some bands, one guy does it, and the other, and the other guys will do certain other aspects of it.
Yeah, we all have our own duties. I mean, it's you got to treat it like a marriage, but at the same time, you got to act like your kids who have chores.
Yeah, no, you have to. I mean, that's
yeah, and it's not hard to upkeep, but sometimes with all the personal duties of life. I have 2 kids. There's other guys in the band that have kids, and we have jobs, we have houses, we have cars. We're normal. We're not rock stars by any means. So, it's almost got to be split up, because if it's all on one guy, somebody's going to break.
Yeah, no, it is. I mean, it's what is it like trying to do this right now when you do got 2 kids and the family and the job? I mean, how?
Oh man, it's so fun being out there, but every time that you have that that downtime in the van where you're just sitting there, you're not throwing John, you're just sitting there, and there's a lot of downtime, but
yeah,
it seems that you can't ever catch a moment to sleep.
Yeah.
By the way, but yeah, you're definitely thinking about it, and it tears you up. It takes a very, very strong heart and a very strong passion for the business to keep trucking along and keep sacrificing all that you can when there's no immediate rewards coming. But, you know, if you keep doing it, that the end result will be rewards. And that's what we're shooting for. We love what we do. We just want to make a living doing it.
Well, what's like I won't keep you a lot longer here. What, you know, let's go back to the Head PE tour. What is like something that stands out to you through the whole tour that are those moments that you're going to remember for pretty much the rest of your time? Is, yeah, that is exactly why I wanted to do that. That is, you know, that's exactly why we do that.
Okay, it's the biggest one of the tour is pulling into Hollywood, pulling up to the Whiskey A Go-Go, looking up at the marquee and seeing Mettal Maffia on it.
Yeah, that's legendary just to think about who all's been on there. That would be, I could imagine. I've never got...
Lita Ford was at that show.
Oh, was she really? Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's the thing out there. You just never know. People just show up at some of those shows anyway, you know, because they're all around that area. But I mean, the Whiskey A Go-Go is an amazing. I've never got to make it out there, but just I would be in awe just going there, let alone having my name on the marquee. You know what I mean, and playing. It's
knowing that we made it all the way across the country, where you know it's. And after being there, you know, it is what it is. But, you know, it's the town of success in everybody's eyes. To make it all the way across the country, leaving with almost nothing and just getting there and accomplishing getting there. And then to see that as a bonus, it was just, it was worth every bit of it.
Well, what's the crowd like out there at the Whiskey A Go-Go these days?
It was packed. It was packed. It was active. It was a great show. I mean, we definitely had some weekdays. It's hard when you're out there as a band on a weekday. I don't care who you are, unless you're playing arenas. It could be a hard day on a weekday.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean,
But I mean, on the weekends, I mean, Sacramento killed it. Hollywood killed it. Seattle killed it. I mean, all the West Coast was great. And you know, I love being in Seattle and Denver.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, for real. Had those laws changed yet? I guess they had, hadn't they?
Yes, well, at least you would have thought so, because it was a normal damn thing. It was crazy.
Didn't even have to make any doctor's appointments or anything, huh?
No, and they were handing it out like it was candy.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's why they're making all the money right now, and none of the other states are.
Some of it was candy.
What is there any places that you have not hit? Any cities that you still would like to that stick out as
Yeah, we'd like to hit Memphis
for
sure. We'd like to hit St. Louis. We've never been to either of the Carolinas. We're working on a date with a bigger band that we can't release yet in Buffalo, so that will get us up to New York. Yeah, I mean, we got a few speckled here and there, but we've been well over 2/3 of this country.
That's awesome, man. Well, I tell you what, I'm happy as hell for you guys, man. And I say, like, just keep on doing what you're doing. You know, you guys are trucking along, and you're making us proud down here too, man. I mean, I know it probably does get rough, and it probably does get a little low sometimes, but yeah, I think you're as long as you're progressing, that's all that matters.
Yeah, absolutely. I've always told my guys, and I've believed every word of it. If we're making progress, something's working.
Yeah.
You know, like if we're not going backwards, we're doing good.
And it's a hard business to keep going forward. So I mean, anytime you are, and you got to appreciate every little step too. It's not always.
Oh yeah, and you got to scrape and claw.
Yeah, you do. It's not always going to be 10 steps forward. It may just be a fingernail forward, but at least you're getting forward. So, but
yep.
Tell like what ways can people find out, keep up to date with you guys, anything? I mean, all the links or what, you know, give you record label, however anybody can find out about you guys that are not living next door to you.
All right, well, for the most part, our Facebook friend page is where we put most of our posts. Our like page is for any media that we put up. It's linked through our Reverb Nation, which is reverbnation.com/Mettal Maffia, Mettal Maffia with 2 T's and 2 F's. And that's where we really uplink all of our new media. When we release a new song, it's through there. When we release new videos, through there. All our show dates are through there. We do have a mailing list that you can sign up for live, and we'll have that up soon. Come June, we're going to have our merch and our record available through all major distributors, or your iTunes, Rhapsody, Best Buy, if you can name it, it's going to be there.
Awesome.
Amazon, and they're also going to have an online merch store where you can start getting our merch and not have to wait for us to come in town, which we're just stoked for, because we've needed merch funding for so long, and now it's finally here.
No, yeah, man. I mean, a lot of people don't understand. I mean, it sucks, but a lot of fans and people don't understand that you know, those couple of dollars sometimes, you know, that puts another mile on the road.
We've literally got to the next town on the change in our pockets. Every penny matters.
No, it does, exactly. And I encourage anyone who's a fan to look, and not just Mettal Maffia, just any artist, support these guys. It doesn't cost you that much, and I mean, it's an escape. When you listen to a CD, it's an escape. When you go to the show, it's an escape. You know, it don't hurt to throw in a little bit to help these guys continue to help you escape, you know?
Dude, and I feel the same way as a musician back to the people that are supporting it when I'm the one being supported.
Yeah.
You know, like, these fans are my escape. Like, I need them just as much as they need me, and if everybody just goes out and supports bands, it's going to be a much better scene and a much better time.
Oh, yeah, and be active, people. There's nothing more, I mean, as a performer myself, there's nothing greater than when that crowd is active and they're yelling back at you and responding. I mean, you're not going to these shows just to stand around. You can stand around at the dollar store while you're waiting in line to get your bag of chips. But when you go to these shows, I mean, get into it. Show these people, these bands, everybody appreciates it. It's a big fucking love fest. I'll tell you what, man, there's one thing I'm going to start doing, and I'm going to hit you on this. I don't know who I'm interviewing next yet, but I would like you to give me some sort of random question to ask the next person, courtesy of Bob Hacker and Mettal Maffia.
Okay. If you could have three things backstage, one is old, one is new, and one is blue, what would it be?
All right, that's perfect. Well, now the second step of that question is to answer it yourself.
One is old, one is new, and one is blue, huh? I got to now answer my own question.
That's the way we roll, man.
One is old, man.
Hopefully not the food that they're serving you.
Okay. I'm going to want my old drummer.
All right.
Because I can't do the show without him.
Gotcha.
I'm going to want a young female.
Perfect.
And to refer back to the old one, I'm going to need a blue Viagra to be with the young female because I'm getting old myself.
Hey, I hear you. And so there you go. Y'all know exactly what the three things Bob Hacker needs. All right. Listen, man, I appreciate you taking the time. I know you are in the middle of everything. I know you getting ready to go watch some Monday Night Raw, you said. Are you a big wrestling fan?
I'm a huge wrestling fan, and so is our producer. I mean, like we run around the studio doing the old school Ultimate Warrior push up to the sky. We definitely love it.
Is it are you follow all wrestling, or are you just a WWE guy?
WWE, there's a few secrets. If you're following WWE or any other wrestling, you're following WWE.
Yeah.
Just know that.
Yeah, it definitely is. And it don't hurt to have your dad working for him, too. I guess that helps on the influence a little, too.
Yeah.
All right, man. I appreciate it, man. I really do. I appreciate you starting this out for me. And everybody, I want to listen, Mettal Maffia, they got... He said on June the 8th is when the album should be coming out. You're going to be able to get it from anywhere. They're going to be hitting a tour. And, hey, I mean, come on out and support these guys. Check them out. It's a eclectic, unique metal with some MCing and a little bit of everything. I mean, I enjoy the hell out of it, and everybody I've seen does too. I haven't seen anybody stand around and say, man, that sucks when you are playing. So everybody seems to be getting into it or talking about how badass it is. So
that's great.
All right, man. You guys enjoy your evening. I appreciate it, Bob, and I'm sure we'll be in touch again, man, and we hope to get you all back down here very soon.
Absolutely, Luie, and we can't wait to come back. You know that.
All right, can you close out with giving me I'm a Bob Hacker from Mettal Maffia, and I'm Splattered.
This is Bob Hacker with Mettal Maffia, and I'm Splattered.
Awesome, brother.